Hello everyone, it's Mich here and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and I hope you become a part of my subscriber family. And for those of you who keep coming back and leaving comments, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So this is another video in the Junk Journal Joy playlist, and it's Playing with the Garden Story DigiKit from Rach and Bella Crafts and Angela Kerr Designs. Oh, excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. Today is March the 26th, I believe, and there is a collaboration going on right now between March the 15th and April the 16th, and that's I'm not part of the actual collaboration, but I love the kit so much that I just wanted to play with the papers and do some of my own junk journaling. You can see who is some of the collaborators. There's videos up all the time, and you can use the hashtag journal jigsaw, and I will leave some details in the description below. I first heard about it from Marnell over on Mimi's Keepsakes, so that's how I heard about it. But I am going to continue to do some pages in my actual junk journal, but that's not for today. So what I want to do today is make a cute little journal out of this tissue box. So I emptied this out, I think yesterday or the day before, and of course, as we crafters, but particularly junk journalers do, is look at, oh wow, wouldn't that make just the cutest little journal? So it's approximately 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and it'd be great if you were traveling and just wanted to take a little journal just to do some ideas and stick some memorabilia into it. But it also would be great for a younger person, a son or daughter or grandchildren, because it's just that perfect little size that they could make some notes and do some drawing or something. So I am actually going to go away and cut this down because I think this would be kind of boring. But I'm just basically going to cut the flaps off and cut the bits out. And we are going to make a little window aperture. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut this down because I want the aperture obviously in the front and the book to open this way. And I've also gone along and I put a bunch of score tape. I find score tape is really good for adhering covers. The other thing that I would use would be Fabri-Tac, or you can get, which I've not really used much of, but neutral pH adhesive, and this is actually for bookmaking as well. But the good old Fabri-Tac is good, as it is the silicone base, so it doesn't really warp your papers, and it has a good adherence. But I'm just going to go with my score tape. So I've already got that down, and I've cut my cover already. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little bit. There we go. And I've cut my cover down. I just want to make sure that I've got, for this case, because it's not a very big little album, I'm leaving about a 1/2 inch on all sides. So I'm just gonna get the score tape taken off right around the aperture as well. And I am gonna just reinforce that a little bit with the Fabri-Tac, just because I want to make sure that there's a good adherence around that aperture of the cover. And then we'll probably decorate around there. So let's just get this down. So I'm just going to place this roughly so that there's equal distance around it. And I'm going to press that down well. Because this Kleenex box was used, right around the aperture there, it's just a little bit stretched. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it's a junk journal, and we're actually using some, junk that would be going into the recycling. I'm just going to take my bone folder and just press that down. If you're not new to this, this will be, you know, like definitely maybe boring, but it's good for those who are beginning. I'm just taking my score bone folder and just scoring around the edge to make it a little bit easier to fold that edge up. And then I'm just going to clip the corners a little bit to create less bulk at the corners. I'm not going to go right to the corner, as I don't really want my corners to show, but that can easily be covered with some metal corners. And then I'm just going to start at the top. I'm going to take my score tape off, just put a little extra reinforcing of my Fabri-Tac along that seam so that I'm getting right to the edge, so that it adheres down well at the edge. And then just going to work that so that I get a nice clean edge. Okay, and then I'm just going to press that down with my bone folder right to the spine. I'm not going to try to crease the spine yet. I'm not going to try to fold the book yet. Make sure that gets down well. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Okay, and then just add my Fabri-Tac around the edge there. I can hear it just pouring. We're going to have homemade pizzas for supper, so I'm looking forward to that. I just finished work not long ago, but thought I would spend a few minutes in here getting this together. Easter's this weekend. Wow. We're going to have our little get-together on Monday. And I think we're just going to do a nice brunch. I'll make Cinnabons, and we'll do pancakes and eggs and bacon and fried potatoes. I do a great big Christmas dinner unless I'm working. So come Easter, I sometimes don't do like a big formal dinner. And the kids are older now, so that gives them time to go off and do things with their boyfriends and stuff. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do anything this year because my schedule didn't kind of get finalized. I wasn't really sure what I was doing, so sometimes it's hard to plan. All right. So I'm just going to press that down and push that in. Okay, so then I'm going to take my Fiskars little X-Acto knife, which I love, and I'm just going to cut that aperture out as best I can. I already kind of trimmed up a little bit along, and I've just put a new blade in, so this is as sharp as anything. And I trimmed up a little bit around the edges, as I'm not going to cover that raw edge at all. I apologize if my head's getting in the way with this. I even put the Fabri-Tac in. It's still bubbling a little bit there, which I don't want it to do. But we'll see once we get the window out if it's bulging. All right. Chester, it seems like Chester is hungrier on rainy days, because he just doesn't, you'd think he'd be like settling down. Okay, well I think that's adhered okay. So I'm then gonna just gently try to close this and see what happens. I don't want to really force it because I don't want it to crack there, but I think that's good. And then I found some acetate from some kind of packaging that I want to use for the window. Okay. All right, so it's shaping up, so I'm just gently massaging that to get it working that a little bit. So it lays flat and then it will close all right. Oh, okay. So I've already cut a little piece of acetate, unless I've lost it. You could also use, I've got a little piece of vellum here, so you could also do a frosty window, but I didn't like that as much as an actual acetate window. Okay, well that took some looking to find it. So I've already put a little bit of score tape around the outside. Not even sure what packaging this came from. And then I'm going to, again, just put a little bit of Fabri-Tac around the aperture just so that I know it's going to stick really well. And it will just help to reinforce that. And the reason I'm going so close to here is because of the warp of this box. But I just wanted to try to adhere as best as we can. Okay, so I'm just going to slide that in there. Okay, and press that down well. And then we'll see what it looks like from the other side. Got a little bit that's, I didn't want any to show through, so I'm just going to take a cotton bud and just clean it. Just oozed out just a little bit right there, which you can't really even see. You can see just a wee little bit there, but that's okay. And then I've already gone ahead and I've made some signatures. I've made 3, and I've used the hidden spine method. I've just used a straight pamphlet stitch. There is a lot of tutorials out there on that. One thing to note about a pamphlet stitch, whichever side you start the stitch on is where your knot's going to be. So I wanted my knot to be in the middle of the center one, in case I want to do a little dangly or something there. But for the other ones, I didn't want that. I've tied them quite tight because you don't want them to gape, and then I've put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on them, because the worst thing that you want is once you get your book all together for them to start to become untied. The other thing that I want to do is I had a little piece of paper here that was quite heavy cardstock, and I just want to reinforce the spine. And that's just so that this spine is just a little bit flimsy. So I thought, well, I would just like to do that, and then also it will hold the stitching down a little bit as well. So I just have some score tape already for that. And I'm going to, again, just take some Fabri-Tac and just kind of go along there. You don't want too much because you don't want the Fabri-Tac to ooze out the holes on the other side. It's no great big deal if it does, but... And then I'm just going to go along the edge of this little reinforced part, and then I'm just going to get that down. I've made it the same size as that one, and then I'm just going to push it down on the back side, like so. Just get that really stuck down along the edges. Okay, and I think that's good. I'm just really pushing that down. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to use a little bit of score tape to stick the binding down. And I'll use a little bit of Fabri-Tac as well. Once the score tape, you get the score tape down, things really do not move. But you don't really want it falling apart either. Okay, and then this really is a basic project, but sometimes it's fun just to craft along. Maybe you're doing something else in your craft room and we're just hanging out. So I'm going to put this on this part of the thing as well as these little flaps, because these little flaps are going to help to anchor the signatures, the spine down. Okay, so I'm just going to try to get it out to the edge there. And then I do have a right side, and the right side is this side. So I'm going to get that down. Excuse my head if it gets in the way. And somewhat like that. And if you don't get it in straight, it's not easy to then get it in straight. Okay, well I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to press that into the, if you want to, which I didn't want to, I kind of like more of a clean look for this, but if you want to, before you put it in, to distress along here, or you wanted to do that now, because when we put our back covers on, you are going to see kind of the whiteness of the spine, but I kind of like that clean look, so I'm not going to do anything about it. Okay, I love these papers so much. All right, and then for my front panel, I think that I'm going to kind of like how that peeks through. Or do I like that? The whole thing is that I'm really not going to see that because we're going to create a little pocket. Right, so I'm just going to use the Fabri-Tac to put the back panel on the back cover. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it this way and get that fit right in there like that. So I like that. And then for the front, we're just going to make a pocket. So I'm just going to do the 3 sides. So just along there, along the bottom, and along that side. Okay. And then again, we're just going to get that set in there. Like so. And then we have a top loading pocket where we can put our image in. Okay, so I think I'm kind of finished with the Fabri-Tac for right now. I can go back. I normally use Elmer's glue for stuff, but when I'm creating like the part of the front of the journal and the signatures, I want something a little bit more robust. So let's have a look. So we're going to gently close that, and we can have a little opening here, a little closure here, time. And I like the clean look of the spine, so I can decorate that with lace and stuff. If you do like to see the strands of the twine, that's fine. I I also use, which I did off camera, but I have a little book binding kit. I've seen, you know, there's other people who have the same kit, but this is a great little kit. I got it on Amazon. It's great value for money. It has your wax threads. This didn't come with it, but this was just a little bit of baker's twine. It has your bone folder, your pokey tool, you know, other bone folders. It has your needles. So yeah, it's a great little kit. All right, so this is what we've got so far. We've got our little book with our aperture that we can put an image in, which I'm not going to put this one in, but just for the sake of demonstration, we can have our little boots in there. Actually, that's a bad demonstration. And what about this one? It's a bigger one. Okay, so we've got our little thingy. And then for my signatures, I use some of the paper and then just some doodle paper from a kid's sketch doodle. Just some coffee stained paper. I used a bit of some grid that I had. I've shrunk this down. This was a bigger paper, but I wanted to have that in here. And then, just a bit of some ledger. And on this one here, I put in a little bit of a crossword puzzle book because I love the crosswords. And yeah, and that's our signatures so far. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to get some lace and stuff, and I'll be right back so that we can do a little decoration around the aperture. So okay, guys, so this a few days later. I apologize for the choppiness of the video. I tried to do this when I had gotten off work, and sometimes my thought processes aren't firing 100%. So, and this is, like I said, you know, throughout the video, it is quite basic, but I think it's just a fun little project. So I've gone away and I've taken some of my lace. This is actually some vintage lace that was part of my mom's collection. And I've got just a string of flat back pearls and a little bow. And then I had gone on to Raw Pixel, and I found a picture of what would look like Chester when he was a little baby. And I just designed kind of like a background tag to go in the picture aperture. And then I have created a few little pages. So I've just made a little dangle out of some ribbon, and I've just tucked just a little note card for right now, and we can do more decorating later. So I've just kind of put that in there. I've made another little pocket here that you could put something in, but I really didn't want to right now. And then I made a little envelope, and I got these flowers the other day at Michael's, and they were on sale. I don't even know where the pack is right now. So, and I just added a little button. That's just a little pocket. And then I thought that this was kind of cute. I made like a faux envelope. So I just took a piece of paper, made a little flap, decorated it. So you can have a little tuck spot there if you want. And then that's just a little tuck as well. And I have some deli paper. It just comes in a big box. Got it off of Amazon. It's just like glycine. So I made a little glycine pocket, and then just took some old curtain, lace curtain that I had, and just kind of chopped it all up and made like a two-tuck pocket there. Did a little stenciling on my journal spot, just to remind me to use my stencils. Then I just took a doily and just a deckled edge circle, and I just folded it. I did some little faux stitching there, and I used my little clamp to kind of clamp it on. And then it's a little tuck spot, but I could take it right off if I wanted to. And then and then I just did a double fold down pocket. So just two pieces, kind of rectangle-ish, fold them into a little triangle. That gives you a couple little tuck spots there. This is just a wee little tag that I love. So you can have a little tuck spot there. And then I think that's all for now. I have a couple other projects that I'm working on right now, but I think that, so the video doesn't get too long, I'm going to end it here. And then I'm off a few days over Easter, so I'm hoping to get another video with just us doing maybe a couple little projects in here. And I have an exciting project for my bigger journal for this one. So using some fabric or material in the journal, and I'm hoping to get that up over the weekend. So bye for now. I do hope you stay safe and well. And I'll see you over Easter. Okay, bye.